everyone, Brienne here from Hooked on Homemade Happiness. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of the beach day cover-up dress crochet along. This week we're going to do a repeat of week 1. So we're going to be making our second hexagon. So I will link, if you're just joining us, I will link part 1 below so that you can get started at the beginning in part 1. Here in part 2 we're going to have a repeat of part 1. So we're going to be making our second hexagon for the top portion of our cover-up. Now for the second hexagon, I like to make sure that I'm starting with the same color that I started my first one. So if you still have some yarn left over and you're near this color where you started, you can use the continue using the skein that you started with, or you can grab your second skein and hopefully it has the same starting color as your first hexagon. If not, there might be a couple colors that come before it. You can kind of just pull those out and cut the yarn so that you are starting with the same color you started for part 1 of the cover-up. Now, if you don't care if your striping matches the other side, then go ahead and just start your yarn wherever you'd like. I like to make sure that my striping matches on both sides of my cover-up, so each hexagon roughly matches. The striping is roughly the same. So go ahead and grab that second skein of yarn and get started on your second hexagon for your cover-up. So here I have finished my second hexagon for my cover-up, and I left a nice long end that I'm going to be using for sewing as I sew these two pieces together. So again, make sure that this one matches the first one. Again, you can kind of see what your bust width is going to be and adjust your hexagons accordingly. However, you need to add or take out rounds to make sure that it is the size that you are looking for. So I have my second hexagon here. I'm going to again flip it over. So I have one point up here. I'm going to bring this one at the bottom to match the one at the top. And then you can see how when you bring them together like this, we're going to get that cardigan shape. So we're going to be sewing. So next week in part 3, we will be doing our sewing, and you can take your measuring tape. You can measure across the chest and see if this is about the size that you are looking for, and adjust, add or take out rounds as needed for before we start sewing. So that is it for part 2. Thank you so much for joining me this week. We got both of our hexagons finished, and next week in part 3 we will be sewing, and then we're going to be starting on the skirt as well. So I will see you next Friday for part 3 of the beach day cover-up dress crochet along.